Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the tranquil side of Florida. This is Real Estate Matters, the voice of real estate in Flagler County and Palm Coast for nearly 12 years. I'm Toby Tobin. I'm the publisher of real estate news website, gotoby.com. I'm also a Florida licensed realtor with Grand Living Realty. I'm joined by co-host Anne Maria Long from the Flagler Home Builders Association, one of our sponsors.
Hi, Toby.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. We want to give a good shout out to our lead sponsor. That would be Veranda Bay. That's a beautiful new community coming out of the ground on John Anderson, about a mile. They have about a mile of intercoastal waterway frontage. Nice, beautiful homes there by Olson Homes, by AR Homes, by Ruttenberg, ICI Homes, Hulbert Homes, Toll Brothers, and Dreamfinders. They're all Class A builders. If you want to see more about Veranda Bay, go to verandabay.com. That's their website. We're also sponsored by the Home Builders Association and Hammock Community Church, the little church in the woods along Route A1A in the Hammock, just north of the toll bridge. So let's look at some numbers from May. We're actually recording this on the 28th. You'll be hearing it on the 30th, which is close to the end of the month. So we'll go into a little more detail than usual because these numbers are more meaningful. 219 single-family homes are sold at a median price of $384,990. That's an impressive number.
Yeah, it is.
From recent months. That's 219. This is reported through the Flagler MLS. Days on market, median days on market, 54 days. And then if you compare that to May a year ago, a total of 245 homes were sold. So at 219, we usually have a big rush at the end of the month, so we'll probably exceed number of homes sold. The median price, as I said, so far this month, it's really $385 versus $365 a year ago. And compared to days on market of 54 this year, it was 64 a year ago. So looking good.
I'd say so.
And for the fifth month in a row this year, we're looking strong.
5 out of 5.
So looking at the both ends of the market, which we track each week, the below the 250K market, 10 have sold, only 3 for cash. And days on market, 63, which is above the normal.
It is, yes.
And way above what it's been running recently.
Yeah.
So 63, 3 for cash. And we look at that because that end of the market tends to be where the investors...
Especially when it's cash, it's typically an investor. I like to think that some of those 250 and under are that are not cash are potentially first-time home buyers, hopefully.
Yeah, I think
that's the optimist in me.
Me too. And then we also look at the $1 million plus market. So far this month, 14 of those have closed, and 11 of them were for cash.
That's following the same trend we've seen.
But breaking the days on market trend, it was 100 days on market, which is more traditional for the $1 million plus market. I mean, It's not unusual to see $1 million plus market homes on the market for a couple of 100 days.
Right, because it's such a niche type of home and the niche spot in the market.
Yeah, you have definitely a smaller buyer pool.
And you're looking to find your custom home that is also someone else's custom home.
Right, and when you can afford to build your own custom home.
Right. You just don't want to wait for it.
But the homes in this category often take up to 2 years to build.
Also true.
And I've noticed that when you're 65, 2 years probably represents 20% of the rest of your life.
That is fair.
or 10% anyway, and probably the best 10%
That's fair.
too. So I think that's one of the reasons some people decide to buy an existing home.
Yeah, good point.
1,172 homes are listed for sale on MLS. That's down significantly from a year ago. 418 homes are pending, which means they're under contract. The median list price of those homes under contract, $371,455, down a little from a week ago. And I did some analysis this last week looking at the listed homes and the pending homes and the list price for pending homes, because I wanted to see how much correlation there was, because they're really the best indicator we have of the future if we can time them right, because pending home sales are typically going to close over the next 1 to 2 months.
Right.
So what I did is I analyzed the last couple of years, and I took the number of homes reported as pending, and then I looked at number of homes that actually closed in the next 2 months. So I time phased it looking forward 2 months, and I found it's a very strong correlation. So
interesting.
So it is a good predictor. Then I did the same thing with the list price of pending homes. How did that correlate to the actual selling price over the next 2 months? So, and I mark that number every first of every month. So I'll track it during the month too, but I actually note it and put it in my spreadsheet the first of the month so I can look forward from that.
That's awesome.
So those are good predictors.
And what's our Gindex at?
The Gindex is at 2.8. That's almost, well, it's down from 4.03 a year ago.
That's crazy. That's wonderful, wonderful news.
And the Gindex, for those of you who don't know, actually it is for those of you who do also. But the Gindex is, it's an index that I invented several years ago in honor of Bobby Ginn, who put his mark on our local real estate market 20 years ago. But it's the ratio between the number of homes that are listed for sale and the number of homes that are listed as pending. And somebody told me the other day that I might get sued because there's someone else has a Gindex, and it's apparently someone from Ireland.
Oh gosh. For Guinness.
For Guinness beer. And what they
I would
do
hope they spelled it differently.
No, well they did.
Okay.
They did, but it would sound.
Yes.
It would sound the same. But what they do is they have a website apparently that tracks the price of a pint of Guinness.
I love that for them. But maybe we should work on some trademark documents this afternoon.
So looking at the first 4 months year-over-year comparison to see how we're trying to determine the underlying strength of the market. And by the way, I'm working on an article that will probably be on the website by the time you hear this show, which is basically a deep dive into what I call the pile of horse manure looking for a pony, statistical horse manure. But for the first, here's some numbers that will be in that article. First 4 months year-over-year comparison. And a large sample size is always better. So if we've got 4 months, it's a better number to work with than a given month. Home sales for the first 4 months of this year up 13.3%. So that's units sold. The median price was up 1.1%. The price per square foot, relatively unchanged. Days on market, down 16.7%, so that's a plus.
That's great.
Total sales volume, and that's the total dollar value of all transactions summed up for single-family homes, up 11.9%.
And that speaks to not only the quantity, but the dollar amount because volume.
And, most industries do we talk so much about median selling price and days on market, numbers like that. But the real measure of the health of the industry is the total dollar volume of sales. And that's, most other industries measure themselves that way.
And then we have the building permits, 762 in the first 4 months of last year versus current 628, which is down by 17.6%. So builder confidence is waning, which we know that coming out of multiple reports.
But
which is weird because everyone keeps saying that there's building everywhere.
That's true.
And to them, I offer the early 2000s.
I have an article that's several months old now, but the real analysis of the housing glut of new construction and the number of homes being built per capita today is less than half what it was.
Oh yeah,
20 years ago.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So social media. You brought it up first.
I did. My bad.
It's one of your favorite topics. And I think we're going to start doing this every week. We'll have at least one social media claim that's probably not
to debunk.
True.
Something to debunk.
Something to fact check
clarify.
And debunk. So this week's social media claim, duplex homes lower Palm Coast property values. What do you say? Do you agree?
I disagree. And I would say that is a highly classist, potentially racist statement.
I agree. So anyway, I did some digging. Property appraiser, these numbers come directly from the property appraiser's office. Of all of and there are duplex lots that are zoned ITT.
Yeah, there's only certain lots that are zoned for it from ITT, and they're only in certain areas on certain streets.
But they're in every section. You know, the
Correct.
C section has them, the F section, the B section.
They're spread, but you can look this up before you build or buy, so don't be surprised by it.
So, but they are everywhere. They're not isolated to the other side of the tracks type of
correct
mentality.
That would be a fair housing violation.
It would, but they're of the roughly 5,500 lots that were zoned for duplex. That doesn't mean they have to be duplex, but duplex homes are allowed on these lots. 5,500 lots. 1,000 of them are still vacant. 1,596 have duplex units on them, and 2,458 have single-family homes constructed. So there are almost double the number of duplex lots that have people are still electing to build single-family homes.
Yeah.
So there's no evidence that single-family homes have suffered a decline in value because of duplex lots. So it's a good time to take a short break. Don't go away, folks. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. This is the second half of Real Estate Matters, brought to you by Veranda Bay. Go to verandabay.com to learn more about our primary sponsor. So this time of the year, it's probably the best time of the year to start looking at home values because, we have certain sources of information about home values. Probably the prime source would be the appraiser's office. And if you're not a Florida native, you might not know, but you're basically not officially reappraised with a site visit every year, but you're revalued every year. And each year you're valued as of January 1st of that year. And that will be the value that applies to your tax bill in November when that comes out.
But if you're new construction, you will likely have a site visit.
Yeah.
So don't freak out if you see someone.
Yeah, and you will have
I did speak to someone through my Ring camera.
Yeah, there's a certain number of years they have to visit.
Yes.
But it's not it's not every year, but since it's a value that applies as of January 1st, it takes them a while to cook the books. I don't mean cook in them, to adjust the values. And they look back at the previous year. So
Right.
your January 1st value is going to be based on looking at comparable properties, properties similar to yours, and they make adjustments. One, if you have a pool, they add.
They factor that in,
subtract,
fence, and they'll even go. I know with the new construction, they look at like your floor type, how many bathrooms and how many bedrooms you have to get those comps. It's similar to when you are buying or selling a house and you're getting your comps from your realtor.
They do much the same as a realtor would do. But my point is that the numbers are starting to come together. And if you go to the property appraiser's website, and that's flaglerpa.com, you'll be able to look up your own property record. Florida has a very broad public records law, so you can not only look up your property record, but you can look up my property record. You can look up your ex-wife's property record if you want, or your nasty neighbor or your boss. But there's several numbers there, but look at, and the number that's there now is not your final number. It's what they call your working number. And in most cases, it's probably
Pretty close, yeah.
Spot on to what it will ultimately be. But the working number, you can look at that, compare it to a year ago and 2 years ago, and you can see whether your values are going up or down. And there's several values there. The primary one would be what they call just or market value, because that's roughly about 80% of the real value of your home.
And that's the one that freaks people out, right? Because they say, hey, I didn't buy my home for that much, or I should be able to sell it for more. I paid a lot more. I worded it poorly.
But
or if I sell it, I should be able to sell it for $100,000 more than that.
And you may be able to.
Yes, because that number doesn't mean this is what you can sell it for, what you should have bought it for.
But the taxable value, one of the things the property appraiser has to do through the year, they have to issue to the taxing authorities some preliminary numbers. So the taxing authorities can start working on their budgets, because the taxing authorities are the folks that actually determine what your millage rate is and your tax. But your taxable value is important. And I'm rambling on, but what I'm trying to get to is, are property values going up or down? And that's a hard question to answer. And of course, obviously, a lot of it...
a lot of factors that go into that.
And one of them is location.
Yes.
Another is location. And then, of course, there's location. That has a lot to do with it. But...
so what happens into a property value when a new construction of any type, a new house in construction, hits the tax roll next door to it? Does the property how is the property value of the existing home affected?
I'll tell you exactly how it works, because I recently moved into a new home, and as of January 1st that year, it was assessed as a vacant lot because they didn't get the certificate of occupancy. So that year, my taxable value was based on it being a vacant lot, even though I lived there for 7 months of the year. Then it gets revalued
the following
January 1st. But one of the reasons the number is hard to get to, because new construction gets into the taxable value too. So the taxable value, including new construction, for just about every jurisdiction
or municipality. Okay.
Yeah, and here's the list from the property appraisers. There's Town of Marineland, Town of Beverly Beach, Bunnell, Flagler Beach, Palm Coast. Then there's East Flagler, Mosquito Control. They have their own millage rate. So does St. John's River Water Management, Florida Inland Navigation District, the Flagler County Board of County Commissioners, and Flagler County Schools. Those are all different taxing jurisdictions. But
I
if you
think they're
look at
districts. Are they taxing districts? Does that sound right?
taxing districts,
Yeah.
mhm,
Okay.
yeah. And if you look at the overall taxable value, everybody went up. Uh, some of them was as much as 3.7%, like mosquito control. Town of Reland was the only one that went down because they lost one of their properties got purchased by a tax exempt.
Oh, yes.
But here's the number I really want to get to. If you look at the percent change in taxable value without new construction, that means existing properties, your house, my house. And in every case, except one, except in the town of Beverly Beach, the percentage change was negative, down. City of Flagler Beach, down 2.06%. City of Palm Coast, 1.03%. And your home may have gone up, your neighbor's home may have gone down for whatever reason, or your son's home across town might have gone up or down, independent. Again, that's location, because they look at historical sales numbers. But looking for that pony in the pile of statistical manure, we're finding out, I think, that even though new construction brought the taxable value up overall, probably in the 3% range, 2 to 3% range, that if you take the new construction out, you get a truer measure of what the market's really doing.
Right.
But again, we've talked about the first 4 months of this year pointing positively. Well, those months aren't included in any of this.
Yeah, they're not.
Because
last year wasn't fantastic.
Last year wasn't, it finished strong in November, December, but overall it was basically a repeat of the previous year.
Yeah. And that year was basically a pre-COVID style year. We experienced a huge jump in 2020, 2021, 2022.
But anyway, if you're looking for a hint of whether your values are going up or down, go to the property appraiser's website, again, flaglerpa.com, and you can find your property record. You can find mine. It's, again, open records. But look at the numbers. You can even, there's a link to they have a tax estimator.
Yes.
Yeah, so if your value changed a lot, you can do a little tax estimating.
And see what you might
some people will be surprised because property values have been going up fairly consistently over the last several years, and they've been benefiting from the Save Our Homes cap on assessed value increases.
Right. So their money due is not exponentially increasing.
Well, no. What's happened in the past is your real value has gone up whatever percentage, but say 10% or 8% for the year. But there's a cap on your assessed value that can't go up more than 3%,
right,
or the CPI, whichever is less. What's happening this year and what happened, my assessed value or true value went down about $30,000 this year. Not happy about that. But you'd think that because of the cap, it would still, my assessed value would go down as well as my true value, but no, because I have protected value that I've accumulated over the years. So my assessed value actually went up, even though my true value went down. So look at that carefully. It's not a mistake. If you call the property appraiser, they'll be happy to explain it.
I was going to say, if you have questions, call them. They'll walk you through it.
And they get to do a lot of that between now and November 1st.
They sure do. And they're very good at it.
But Palm Coast, total increase in taxable value, $531.1 million. Flagler County, which is, of course, larger, had a total taxable value increase of $753 million. So for those of you who say that new construction is causing your taxes to go up, new construction is helping keep your tax increases down.
Correct.
And if you want to debate that with me, feel free to give me a call. Want to wrap it up?
I'd love to. Video podcasts of Real Estate Matters are available on gotoby.com. Click on podcasts on the top navigation bar. Show notes are included so that you can see what we did not get to on the show. Also on gotoby.com, the Flagler County interactive map of residential developments and subdivisions updated regularly. And if you have a question or a suggestion for Real Estate Matters or gotoby.com,
give me a call. I answer my own phone. It's 386-931-7124. You can also reach me at toby@gotoby.com. If you're thinking of buying or selling property in Flagler County, give me a call because you can have me as a consultant on your transaction at no cost. It's my free giveaway. My other name is Pro Bono. But here's how it works. I refer you to a qualified, and I know who the good ones are, a qualified agent for the market you're interested in. And I tag along as a consultant, and it doesn't cost you a dime because the real estate agent gives me a little slice of their commission for the referral. So again, it's 386-931-7124. Thanks for being with us this week. Join us again next week. I'm Toby Tobin, and I approve this show.